We'll be coming back to you on the next topic. On Monday, we were told that the banks had failed to meet targets for lending to small businesses. On Wednesday, unemployment figures went up again across the southwest. Now, small business leaders in the region say the government should be doing more to help people without a job set up on their own. There is a scheme designed to encourage the unemployed to turn themselves into entrepreneurs. It's called the New Enterprise Allowance, but critics say it's often too little too late. Tamsin Melville reports.
Business is not exactly sizzling for Stephen Capewell. After spending 8 months unemployed, he had high hopes for this snack van near Truro. With a £1,000 loan under the government's New Enterprise Allowance, or NEA, he set up in November. But the winter months have been tough, and he's struggling.
I just don't see how £1,000, in this day and age, how much everything is, how you can honestly, truly set up a viable business on £1,000. It just seems... It used to be 5,000 and now it's cut to 1,000, and yet it's the main thing that should be helping to get people off and back into work.
At its launch, critics said this scheme wasn't flexible enough. Stephen's case seems to prove their point.
My NEA payments will finish in 10 weeks. If after them 10 weeks I'm back on job seekers and benefits, it's costing them hundreds and hundreds of pounds a week, so it doesn't make sense. I don't understand. I'll be one of my customers, probably. I don't understand why it's a no-brainer for me.
The Department for Work and Pensions says there's currently no plans to increase the amount provided by the NEA scheme. But it says it is monitoring it and welcomes any feedback. So is what's on offer enough to keep people out of job centres for good?
As well as the £1,000 loan, the NEA offers a £1,275 allowance over 26 weeks and mentoring support. But the voice of small businesses in Cornwall believes it's what happens next that's the key.
We're not saying that this is a bad scheme by any means, but what we're saying is it doesn't go far enough. And I think that's the thing is, you know, the danger is that that public money could well be wasted on a lot of fairly good businesses that just need that little bit more help. And I think it's looking at that next step, which is the important part.
And it's only available to those claiming job seekers allowance for 6 months or more, which some finance experts say is the wrong approach.
Let's get it started sooner. Let's catch those people who are prepared to take the risk. So offer it almost day one when somebody's made redundant or can't find a job, and say, we have this package of support for you.
The owner of this new shop in Tavistock says it wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the NEA. But crucially, he's also put in his own money and got a charitable grant. And those administering the scheme in Devon and Cornwall say they've helped create more than 100 local businesses over a year. And with dozens more in the pipeline, there's bound to be mixed results.
The £1,000 is a catalyst which has enabled lots of businesses to start. I'm sure that a lot of businesses would value a bit more money, but the £1,000 is certainly enough to enable them to get off the ground. Inevitably there will be some failures because of the number of businesses that start. A significant number do fail.
The government wants to see the creation of up to 40,000 new businesses under the NEA by 2013. Back at the snack van, there's some doubts.
It could be down to 39,999 in a few weeks. If it does it. So 40,000, that's a big number. Without the support in place, I can't see it happening.
Previous governments have tried similar schemes to turn the unemployed into entrepreneurs. Whether this one will work for people like Stephen remains a matter of debate.
Tamsin Melville reporting. Oliver, you heard the man there. He said £2,000 simply isn't enough to get even a business like a burger van off the ground. He needs more money to make it viable.
Well, first of all, let's just remember that the country's public finances are in a fair old state at the moment, and we don't have masses of money in which to splash around. I think the fact that the government is doing this is actually quite a positive sign, because what we do need to do is to make sure that there is growth in the private sector, because that is where growth is going to come from. We've evidently seen, especially here in Plymouth, that the public sector has most certainly had to take quite a big cut in it, and we need to make sure that the private sector, so anything which we can do to try and incentivise people is, in my opinion, incredibly important to do.
Wouldn't it, though, perhaps be a better idea to offer fewer businesses more money based on the viability of their business?
No, I think you need to actually spread the corn all over the place, and you can see as to what's actually going to happen. And let's also just remember that the budget is taking place later on next month, And that's going to have a real impact as well, because it will be part of a package of activities that the government will be trying to do.
OK, Larry, it's basically a good idea, isn't it? Yes, the burger van was struggling, but we had the shop there that was doing rather well. It's a good scheme. Some incentives are needed, aren't